Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Freeland here. I hope you are enjoying doing science experiments all about sound. And today I kind of thought about a different experiment we could try just as an example. And then you perhaps could have time to think of your own little experiments you want to try with your drums. And today we're really going to focus on the part of the experiment where the scientist writes an explanation. So today I thought we would look at how scientists explain things with their writing, because this is writing and science, right? So today I thought we would have fun with sound. Instead of a drum, I looked around the room and what do I have? I have a glass of water. And I wondered if I tap the glass of water kind of like a bell or a drum, what kind of sound would it make? And so I have two instruments that I'm going to tap with. I have a big paintbrush and a small paintbrush. And I wonder if they make a different sound. So I've got my experiment on my board. It might be kind of hard to see, so I'll read it to you. At the top, I named the experiment Tapping a Glass of Water. My materials are a glass with water and two paintbrushes. And it's not going to take long to do this experiment, just a couple minutes. The steps. Number one, I thought we would tap the brush on the glass and listen to the sounds. And then I made a little data sheet here where I can write down the sounds of the big brush and the sounds of the little brush to see if they're different. Then I'm going to say a claim of if they're different or not. And then I'm going to write some evidence of why I think they're different and maybe how the experiment works. So when you get older, you're going to add a reason on the end. But today we're just going to do a claim and evidence. So let's start with a big brush. There's that noise. So kind of a tap, tap, tap. Ooh, let's do that again. Big brush, little brush. What did you notice about those sounds? I kind of thought this tap was tap, 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 kind of low. And this tap is tap, 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 kind of high, isn't it? So it's like the notes are different. One has a low sound and one has a high sound. I wonder if one is louder or softer. I'll try and do them the same. It's hard to tell, but they definitely are different sounds, aren't there? One's a low sound and one is a high sound. So let me write that down in a chart. The big brush had a low tapping sound. This is where we record our data. And the little brush had a high sound. Now, the evidence, or let's write the claim. The claim is what we thought to be true. So I'm going to say that the big brush made a low sound, but the little brush made a high sound. The big brush made a low sound. But the small brush was a higher sound. Kind of squeezed it in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to think of our evidence. So how do we know that those brushes made a different sound? And what do we think made that happen? We're going to kind of try and explain why they had a different sound. So if I look at these brushes, I didn't change my glass, I just changed the brushes. one is bigger and one is smaller. So I'm thinking maybe bigger things make lower sounds and little things make higher sounds, because that was the difference. They're both brushes that are alike. The only way they're different is their size. So my evidence, my claim says that they make different sounds. So my evidence is bigger objects make lower sounds. Notice how I'm taking my time to write and tell everything I think about it. Smaller objects make higher sounds. Okay. So boys and girls, let's think about that. If we know of anything else that's true, that little things make high sounds and big things make low sounds. I'm thinking little birds go tweet, 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 and big dogs go woof, woof, woof. Oh, little dogs go yip, yip, yip. Big dogs go woof, woof, woof. So that's kind of true for animals. How about instruments? Like a little flute is tweet, 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 but a tuba is boo, 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 is low. So when I think about my evidence, I can add what else I know. I can add that big animals make low sounds, little animals make high sounds. I can add that instruments make different sounds if they're different sizes. So on your evidence, you want to write as much as you can about what you learned as you did your experiment. So that also makes me wonder. I wonder if I used less water, if I took water out, would the sound change? So sometimes when we do experiments, we get new questions too. So boys and girls, I hope this helps you today as you do an experiment and you really focus on writing about why you think what happened in your experiment happened.